Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and well, we've got an interesting one today. This one is the Pennell Trademark. Yep, that's it. That's what it's called, Pennell Trademark. P-E-N-N-E-L-L. Pennell was not a real manufacturer. It simply owned the trademark. How do you like that for just things you can do, right? This one, the fellow who owned this was in Philadelphia. And they would go out to various real manufacturers, pick something out and have them put Pennell Trademark on it and sell it as a Pennell fishing reel. This one is before World War I. It has a rubber side plate, German silvered faceplate, rubber on this side. And, well, I think at the time, if I recall, and I could be wrong on this, it was not an inexpensive reel. It sold probably around $12 or $15, and that's before World War I. So you can imagine the expense there. This reel is not going to, we'll not be able to do a full service of the reel. We'll be able to do an inside look. Why is that? This screw is stuck in the main gear, and these two screws have gotten worn to the point where you cannot get a screwdriver in there to turn them out. So we'll take the side plate off. We'll show you how the reel's made. I'm going to try a little rod and reel cleaner on this green here. I'm not quite sure what that is. Those of you that are viewers of the channel on a regular basis know I like to leave the patina on reels, but some folks like to buff them out and clean them up in that. And I like to go kind of to the point of just try to prevent future damage to the reel, but don't take off the things that make the reel kind of show its character, where it's been, how it's been fished, and the like. So we're going to take the 4 side or 5 side plate screws out. I guess there's 2 in the reel seat. Take those out. Give us all a look inside. I've not been inside the reel, and we'll get an understanding for the reel. And those of you that may know more than I do will probably know who made the reel. Now, here's a clue in the research that I've done. Montague, which was a rod builder, they were up in Montague, Massachusetts. They were often in and out of affiliations with Ocean City. Montague was known to make trade reels, and they also made Pennell trademarks. Now, not all Pennell trademark reels were Montague, but this one kind of seems to be the Montague Lakeside, or one of the reels that was in their shop at the time, called the Standard. And, well, I'm curious to see how this lines up. Again, I can't verify that, but this is a bigger reel. This has got the 200 on the reel seat stamped in. And the 200 was the line capacity for braid. Let's see what we got inside here. Pretty straightforward click mechanism here. Nice look to it. Nice spool with the gear that's driven. This is the one we're going to take some rod and reel cleaner and see what we can do. And inside here, well, it's very simple, isn't it? It's got a bridge that's held in by 2 screws that can't come out. Yay. And a main gear. Well, when I can't get to the point where I can take these parts off, I like to flush them as best I can. I'm using a penetrating oil. I'm going to use WD-40 here. And on that greening, I'm going to use kind of a very limited abrasive medium. This is a kitchen scrubby, pot and pan scrubby. It's not the Scotch Brite ones. They tend to be a little bit more coarse. This is just a simple dollar store one. Breaks down in a hurry, but in this case, breaking down in a hurry is a good thing. I'm just going to use the rod and reel cleaner and this kitchen scrubby to see if it can dissolve whatever that greening is. And I don't know if it's going to dry right, but I'll tell you what, right now it's doing a very nice job of just dissolving that green. Well, if you're wondering what that is, I think I showed it, but it's a pen rod and reel cleaner. And it's got two purposes to it. One is it does dissolve the film and debris that is on fishing reels. Pretty good. But more importantly, it's something that you should use after you go fishing to kind of get the film and the day's micro salts and sands and the like off of your reel to protect it. And the same thing goes with the rod. A lot of times we do the reels, forget the rods, right? We take the reels home, flush them with fresh water, kind of go about our activities. But in this case, you should be doing your rods as well, particularly if you're in a saltwater environment. Well, I'm liking on the results of this. Of course, it really isn't a very abrasive piece, but whatever that chemical is, it's doing a fair job of getting that greening off. Well, that brings me to my glove, right? That's why I wear the glove, because I do try to keep as much of that off of my hands as I can. Wish I could find a glove that works on my dominant hand, my right hand, which is kind of where the business end of this gets done, right? I can't, and it's just never been a comfortable thing for me to do that, but I figure one hand is better than none in terms of staying protected with it. And this one seems to absorb all of the cleaning and the dirt and debris and the like. All right, I'm using a cotton swab here. That cleaned up the inner channel pretty good. Looks like there might just be a little bit more over here. Again, I'm not looking to do much more than just ensure that it's clean. And then we'll just put a little bit, just a dab on the teeth. Rotate the gear around. Check the teeth while you're doing this. Oh, looks like maybe we picked up some debris in there. This is a compromise, clearly. I can't get to the bridge screws. I don't want to wreck a 100-year-plus old reel because I can't get to it and I want to lurch it or something. I'm just going to let it go. It's my reel. What the heck? I can do whatever I want with it, right? But that's the logic behind it. And the other thing we want to do is check the teeth on this gear. That's all clean. I'll put a nice coating of grease here. You can tell it's totally dry. It's been dry for a long time, I assume. And nice reel for fun. So, what do you do with a reel like this? Some people like to put them on a shelf. I like to put them on a pole. There's no reason in the world this reel can't go out and go fishing. What's missing? Well, you have no free spool and you have no anti-reverse. Sort of like mano y mano, right? You against the fish. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, let's put these back together. This has got 3 pillars and a reel seat. Again, my estimate is 1920s or earlier. I seem to think that the Pennell Trademark was issued to the owner of the trademark in 1904. And again, he went out and contracted with folks. The Montague standard was right around that time, certainly the first decade of the 19th century. And I'm thinking that those two guys hooked up, had these trade reels made at that time. And a lot of times folks just, well, they can confuse Pennell. First, they think it's a manufacturer. It wasn't a manufacturer. And secondly, they think it's Penn. And no, it wasn't affiliated with the Penn fishing reel company. Penn Fishing came along much later than this reel did. Penn Fishing came along in 1932 with Otto Henze, and he left Ocean City to come over there. And their first reels weren't manufactured until I think it was 1935 or 36, much later than this version of the reel. How do you tell an old reel? That German silver, the rubber side plates, the wooden handle, all of those are clues as to the age. But if you want to get more specific than that, you really have to start doing some research. And the research I do, well, most of the time I turn to ORCA, the Old Reel Collectors Association. It's a group I belong to. And for a modest entry or annual dues, you get access to a wide library, a fantastic library of information about a lot of old reels. And when you have a question like this, you can generally find it somewhere. It's either a subject of an article maybe that was in the Reel News, which is their publication, or well, they have catalogs, they have schematics, they have all kinds of things in their catalogs and in their library that can help you identify and do some research on that stuff. All right, so the greening came off. How do you like that? Very nice, attractive reel. I think we might just put that on a pole. It won't be a period correct pole, but we'll put it on a pole, put some line on it, see how we do. Let's see how it turns. You know what? For a 100-year-old plus reel, this is a beauty. Wow, I'm going to enjoy this one a lot. So to retrieve, crank forward to cast. You're on your own. It's a knuckle buster. You throw it and let it go out, or you drop fish it and let it go out. The beauty of this one, if you want to make it a left-handed reel, reverse the process. So this one's kind of whatever you want it to be, kind of a reel. And it is the Pennell Trademark. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way and in protecting us, keeping us all safe. I want to thank everybody who's been watching. I want to encourage those that have not subscribed to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And, well, hey, you might just learn about the next reel, whatever that may be, or you may see your favorite reel being serviced and learn how to do it yourself. Thanks for watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.